This incident took place in June 2020 when I was in the midst of a job hunt. Due to the pandemic, my previous employer, referred to as Company A, had to lay me off. They were considerate enough to provide me with a generous 2-month notice period, and thus my last day with the company was set for the end of August. During my job search, I applied to various companies, including a re-education program that I eventually enrolled in. However, within those 2 months, I also applied to Company B, which initially seemed like an amazing opportunity. They offered a full-time position with 40 hours per week, overtime compensation, and 24 days of paid vacation annually. Germany. Baby, I received a call inviting me for an interview. As a personal habit, I always preferred arriving early for work, interviews, or any appointments. It allowed me to take a moment, grab a coffee, and mentally prepare for what lay ahead. The interview at Company B was scheduled for 8 a.m., so I arrived at around 7:30 a.m. Following instructions, I parked my car in the employee parking lot, unaware that it would cause a significant issue. The trouble began when an angry man in a suit and tie stormed up to the parking lot, clearly infuriated. The following conversation unfolded. Angry guy, AG, where have you been? You were supposed to be here by 7. Me, I was told. AG, cutting me off. I told you to be here by 7? Me, confused. The email stated 8 a.m. AG, are you stupid? We start at 7. It's your first day and you're already late. Get out of here, you're fired. Me, realizing what happened. Sorry, there must be some miss. AG, I said, get out. Me, fed up. I don't work for you. AG, obviously, since I fired you. Me, I never worked for you in the first place. AG, of course. It was supposed to be your first day. At this point, I had reached my limit with him. I was about to return to my car when another man and a woman emerged from the office building, curious about the commotion. It turned out that the man was the CEO and the woman was the recruiter. CEO, what the hell is going on here? AG, this lazy bum showed up over 30 minutes late on his first day. CEO, looking at me, then at a G, then back at me. This is unacceptable. What's your name? Me. My name. Recruiter R. Oh, you're early. AG early. He is late. And fired. RAG? He's not an employee. He's here for a job interview. Remember the vacant position on your team? AG. Why did he park here then? R. Because I instructed him to. His appointment is at 8 a.m., but we can begin now. Nay. With all due respect, I politely declined to work here. CEO and R. What? Nay. Yeah, I'm not interested in working for someone who speaks to their employees in this manner. Furthermore, I have no desire to work for someone who can't even recognize their own employees. R. I can't blame you. I promise we'll handle this. Maybe we can reschedule for another day. Nay. I'll keep in touch with you regarding that. A few days later, I signed a contract with a transport company for a re-education program to become a train operator. As promised, I called R and informed her that another interview wouldn't be necessary. I asked her to remove me from the list of candidates, which she did. She also commended my decision, mentioning that her father had previously worked for the transport company. Additionally, she revealed what had happened to AG. He was fired just 2 days after his outburst. An internal investigation had uncovered numerous instances of misconduct and employee abuse. As they say, karma wins. The saga had been ongoing even before I started working at the store. Every week, without fail, an entitled woman would barge in and demand to be served on her own terms, completely disregarding any cues. She would make a beeline for a closed register, unloading her groceries with an air of self-importance. Then she would complain about not knowing it was closed, banking on someone giving in to her demands so she wouldn't have to put everything back in her cart and move to an open lane. Today, however, was different. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and I wasn't in the mood to put up with her antics. My department head was exhausted, having to cover countless hours due to our short-staffed situation. Even our store manager had been working grueling 12-hour shifts to manage night stocking and keep the store running smoothly from 2 a.m. to 2 p.m. every day. With both of them heavily reliant on the front-end shift managers to keep things in order, we found ourselves with a newfound sense of power over these entitled individuals who believed they had the right to mistreat us. My department head was tied up in a corporate conference call, and the store manager was busy unloading a truck. That's when I received a call to come to a closed register. What? I made my way there, only to find the entitled woman still unloading her items, a significant portion of them already on the conveyor belt. Nay, excuse me, ma'am, but this lane is closed. Entitled woman EW. I didn't know. How was I supposed to know? Me. Well, perhaps by noticing the neon green sign with red letters that clearly says closed, or the chain across the lane also indicating it's closed, or maybe the absence of any staff member at this register. EW, well, I didn't see them, so you need to get someone to serve me. Nay, I don't have anyone available to open this register right now. That's precisely why it's closed. EW, make one of them. She pointed at the baggers, who were not trained to operate registers. Nay, it's not their responsibility. They are doing their assigned tasks. You'll need to take your items to an open register, I'm afraid. EW, then you do it. Nay, I'm sorry, but I am unable to operate a register at the moment. You'll have to move to an open lane with your groceries. EW, I'm not reloading this cart. Get one of them to assist me if you want me to move. Nay, no, they are currently occupied with customers at the open lanes. EW, fine. I'll just abandon everything then. Me, that's perfectly fine. EW, you would rather have me leave all this than wait on me. Nay, ma'am, I have other pressing matters to attend to right now. If you want to keep your groceries, please move to an actual open lane. Alternatively, you can leave them, and we'll make sure everything is returned to its rightful place when we have the opportunity. With that, I walked away, heading back to the service desk to attend to the customers waiting in line there. As the conversation unfolded, the entitled woman continued to unload her groceries, seemingly oblivious to the disdainful glances and eye rolls from other customers. According to fellow employees, she emptied her entire cart and then stood there with her hands on her hips, complaining loudly and questioning why no one was assisting her. The surrounding customers couldn't help but express their exasperation through eye rolls and scoffs. Surprisingly, the entitled woman eventually loaded everything back into her cart. However, her audacity escalated further as she attempted to cut the lines, loudly asserting that she had been waiting and therefore had the right to jump ahead. Not a single customer allowed her to cut in line. She ended up at the back, subjecting herself to an additional 20 to 30 minutes of waiting due to her own self-entitlement. But the story doesn't end there. Approximately 20 to 30 minutes after she left, the entitled woman returned to the service desk, still pushing her overflowing cart. By this time, both my supervisors had been informed of the earlier incident. They shared a laugh because we were all growing tired of being mistreated. Nay, putting on a customer service voice and pretending not to recognize her. Hi, how can I assist you today? Entitled, Woman EW. I want to return all of this and get a refund. I did not appreciate how I was treated today. From now on, I'll be shopping at another store 20 minutes away. Nay, unfortunately, I'm unable to process that return. Due to pandemic restrictions, once items leave the store, we are unable to issue refunds or exchanges unless there is a quality issue. EW, get me a manager. Nay, I am the shift manager on duty at the moment. EW, get me your boss. My boss, MB, walks out of the office behind me. Can I help you? EW, yes, you can. This rude employee refused to ring up my groceries after I had already unloaded. She walked away from her register, even though I had unloaded everything, and told me to go to hell. I could feel a mix of laughter and pent-up anger bubbling within me, but I wisely kept my mouth shut. MB speaking slowly, making it evident she doesn't believe the entitled woman. Really? EW, yes. And I would like a refund for my groceries due to how she humiliated me. MB, well, I cannot refund your groceries due to pandemic restrictions. However, I can call the store manager and we will review the footage from the security cameras to determine if any action needs to be taken. Just to clarify, you're saying Brandy, referring to me, was at the register, waited for you to unload, closed her lane, walked away, and cursed at you. EW, adamantly, yes. MB, I'm going to call the store manager right now. Brandy, please go to the office and wait. The store manager, SM, enters the scene after being briefed by MB. Yes, ma'am. How can I assist you? EW, just as I told her, pointing at MB. The person in the office was so rude. She waited until I was finished unloading to inform me that the register was closed, then just walked away. She didn't offer to help me or allow anyone else to help me, and she told me to go to hell. SM, so you're claiming that Brandy had an open register, waited for you to unload, and then inexplicably walked away, cursing at you? EW, well, I'm pretty sure the register was open, and I demand a refund for how poorly I was treated, but neither of them will give me one. SM, I'm not sure if they explained this to you, but due to pandemic restrictions, we are unable to process refunds or exchanges. EW, that's nonsense. I'm calling corporate. SM, that is entirely within your rights. However, I want to emphasize that this policy is set by the company, not just by me. EW, well, I'm reporting all three of you for your disrespectful behavior, especially her, pointing towards me, still in the office and listening. SM, that is also your prerogative. I will review the camera footage and gather statements from all of my staff regarding the incident. Appropriate action will be taken based on that, and I will also provide a detailed report to corporate about the situation and the actions taken. EW, so you have cameras. You can see everything? SM, yes, ma'am. If you look at that monitor right there, you can see the current images being recorded. We are quite impressed with the clarity and quality of our cameras. No grainy black and white footage for us. We have full-color, high-definition recordings. EW, clears throat well. Do your investigation. I'm certain you'll see that she was clearly in the wrong for not serving me when I had already unloaded, and it wasn't clear that the lane was closed. SM, so there were no signs or chains indicating that the lane was closed? EW, well, I didn't notice if they were. I had already unloaded everything from my cart. It wouldn't have taken her more than a few minutes, but she said she had other things to do. SM, such as attending to the customers she asked to wait at the service desk while she came to inform you that you were unloading at a closed register? You specifically chose to go to a closed lane and demanded assistance from employees who were already helping customers in line at open lanes ahead of you. We are currently understaffed, and we cannot simply open additional lanes when there is no available staff to operate them. Is there anything else? EW, well, you're all rude, and she was exceptionally rude. I can't believe you will let her get away with such behavior. SM, it's possible that she may have acted rudely. I will collect statements from the other employees, and appropriate action will be taken based on the findings. EW, well, this is terrible customer service. I think I'll be contacting my lawyer. SM, in that case, our conversation ends here. I will now have to refer you to our corporate legal department. Due to your mention of legal action, I am no longer able to discuss this matter with you directly. All further communication regarding this issue will need to go through your lawyer and our legal department. Thank you, and have a pleasant afternoon. With that, both SM and MB turned away and entered the office where I was. SM obtained statements from the 4 employees involved. All 4 confirmed that they had clearly informed the entitled woman that the lane was closed, but she insisted that someone would eventually show up to ring up her groceries. The only suggestion SM gave me for future incidents was to have a bagger assist her in moving to an open lane. Interestingly, one customer did tell her to go to hell when she attempted to cut in line, while another referred to her as an entitled witch and instructed her to get out of their way and find the end of the line